Good day students, welcome to zoology class. Hope all of you are fine at your places. Today in continuation to my series on kingdom Animalia, today I will take up next two phylums, that is phylum Platyhelminths and phylum Aschyhelminths. So we had started with phylum Porifera and phylum Cnidaria, and today we will take up phylum Platyhelminths first and then we will take phylum Aschyhelminths. First of all, phylum Platyhelminths. What is Platyhelminths? These are flatworms. The members or organisms or animals of this phylum, they are commonly known as flatworms, that is phylum Platyhelminths. These organisms of the phylum Platyhelminths, they are dorsalo-ventrally flattened, and so they are known as the flatworms because their body is dorso-ventrally flattened, so they are commonly known as flatworms. These are triploblastic animals. Now you know what is triploblastic, that is the body is formed of three germinal layers, that is outer ectoderm, inner endoderm and middle one is mesoderm. These animals, they are thin, flat and unsegmented worms, and one member, that is tapeworm of this phylum, it shows segments, but those segments, they are false segments, and the body shape of these platyhelminths is either ribble like, just in case of tapeworm, and either it is leaf like, just in case of liver fluke. So these organisms, they are bilaterally symmetrical, means they can have two exactly similar halves, right half and left half, and they have an anterior end and posterior end. And these animals, they are acoelomate. It means they do not have any body cavity. Body cavity is absent, and they have organ level of organization. So they are not cellular level of organization, they are not having tissue level of organization, but they have organ level of organization. Their alimentary canal is incomplete, means they have mouth but there is no anus. So ingestion and egestion both are done through the mouth. So these organisms, they are mostly parasitic, and so they live inside the body of the host. However, some organisms, they are free living and they live in water, they are aquatic. So free forms are aquatic, and rest of the organisms of this platyhelminths phylum, they are parasitic, they live inside the body of the host. And if the organism is parasite, then it has hooks and suckers to get attached to the body of the host. And in these animals, central nervous system is placed anteriorly in the form of simple network of ganglion. There are present simple ganglion, simple network of ganglion, and which represents the brain or the central nervous system. And excretory system, in case of platyhelminths, it is in the form of specialized cells, and they are known as flame cells, and which help in osmoregulation and excretion, means in maintaining the balance of the water, that is osmoregulation, and for as well as for excretion. And these organisms of the phylum Platyhelminths, they are hermaphrodite. And you know what is hermaphrodite? That is male and female sex organs, they are present in the same individual. And fertilization is internal, that is inside the body of the animal. And development is through many larval stages. So we can say that the development is indirect because larval stages, they occur in the life cycle of these organisms. And some members like planaria, planaria is a platyhelminth, it is a flatworm, and the planaria, it has high regeneration capacity. So if some part of the body is lost, it is regenerated again. So this is also the characteristic feature of the platyhelminths. And examples of platyhelminths, they are Planaria, then liver fluke, and its zoological name is Fasciola hepatica. And then there is tapeworm. Tapeworm is the main representative of this phylum, and the zoological name of tapeworm is Taenia solium. So these are some of the characters of phylum Platyhelminths. So this is all about phylum Platyhelminths, and you see here in the diagram that this is Planaria, this is liver fluke, and this is blood fluke, and this is tapeworm. These are all the members of phylum Platyhelminths. Now come the next phylum, that is phylum Aschelminths. Aschelminths phylum, the organisms or animals of this phylum, they are commonly known as roundworms, and it includes, this phylum includes almost 15,000 species. So there are about 15,000 species of roundworms, and they have only one class under them, and that class is known as Nematoda. And they, so as they have only one class, so the members or organisms of phylum Aschelminths, they are also known as nematodes or roundworms. So they occur almost everywhere in soil, fresh water, salt water, and they live as parasite in animals and plants, and some are free living. And their characteristic features are like that they have unsegmented round or worm like body. You can see here in this diagram, they are worm like, they are having round worm like body, and body is circular in cross section. If you cut from here, the circular cross section you will see. So we can say that they are the roundworms, and so their name is roundworms. And they are also triploblastic, that is they are made up of 3 germinal layers. They have organ system level of organization. It means their body has proper system, and they also show bilateral symmetry just like platyhelminths are the flatworms. And they are pseudocoelomate, means body cavity is not the true coelom. It looks like that they have body cavity, but it is not the true coelom. And these animals, they are pseudo means false, so they are pseudocoelomate animals. An alimentary canal in case of roundworms, it is complete and with a well developed pharynx and everything. So they have a mouth as well as anus, and sexes are separate. Now they are not hermaphrodite, they are dioecious. Dioecious means male and female sexes are separate. They have, male individuals are different and female individuals are separate, and often females are longer than the males in size, and body size, it varies a lot. So they can be very small and they can be very long, up to 4 feet long. And excretory system in case of Aschelminths, it is made up of protonephridia, and excretion takes place through protonephridia, and they have also excretory pore. And fertilization, it is internal, that is inside the body. And the development in case of Aschelminths, in some organisms it is direct, or in some organisms it is indirect. Means in some organisms larva is formed, and in some cases larva is not formed. Where larva is formed, we can say that they have indirect development, and where no larva is formed, means they have direct development. And the main representative of this phylum Aschelminths, that is a roundworm, it is Ascaris. This is Ascaris. This is male Ascaris, which is small, and this is female Ascaris. So this is the main representative of the phylum Aschelminths, are the roundworms, are the nematodes. And so this is other representative of this phylum Aschelminths, and this is Ancylostoma, which is known as hookworm. So these are some of the characters of phylum Aschelminths. So these were the 2 phylums, phylum Platyhelminths and phylum Aschelminths. So today we have done with the phylum Platyhelminths and phylum Aschelminths. So now you know that the members of phylum Platyhelminths, they are commonly known as flatworms. For example, planaria, liver fluke, blood fluke, and tapeworm. And the phylum Aschelminths, members of phylum Aschelminths, they are commonly known as roundworms, and the example is Ascaris and Encyclostoma. So these are the two phylums which you have studied today. You have to make notes of these phylums. I have already sent you study material or the notes about these two phylums. You have to prepare proper notes. You have to go through this presentation. You have to consult notes, and if you have any doubts, we can discuss in the class. Thank you.